Hello students, so I've came up with another video. In this video we are going to continue regarding the advanced formatting in MS Word. Okay, so last time I showed you under the home tab what are the things that we can do in order to format your particular text. For example, your font styles or your font families, your paragraphs, your style groups and your editing section. Now when it comes to an insert tab, we have a lot more that we can do in order to change the presentation of your text than what it was earlier. So the first group that we have over here is the pages group. Now if you see over here, we have three sections under this pages group, or the three tools. Okay, these three tools are first the cover page. So if I click on the cover page, I have a lot of default templates over here. So for example, you want a cover page. For example, it's like a cover of your book. So I want something like this. So I will get this particular text on my first page, because your first page will be the cover page for your particular text. So I can change the title over here and I can say something like sample title. Okay, so looking over here, I can do all the necessary changes that I want over here. Okay, so this is your cover page. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is this cover page do. Now another one is a blank page. So what does it do? It is going to create a another blank page for you. Earlier I only had one over here. Can you see over here? One. If I just zoom it over here, sorry, zoom it over here, look over here, it is one over here. Okay, so if I want to make another page over here, another blank page, just I need to click on this particular icon over here, and just if I click on it, now another page has come over here, another blank page. So this is page 2 of page 2 and this is page 1 of page 1. Okay, sorry, page 1 of page 2 and this is page 2 of page 2. So this is how you can also create a blank page without, because if you have to do it manually, what you need to do is keep on pressing enter. Okay, so in order to do the, rather than doing this manually, you can click on this blank page. And another one is a page break. Now what page break does is, let me give you one example. If I do like RAND1 over here, it's going to give me one paragraph. So from this particular point, I want, like for this sentence, you can also type a keyword. This particular sentence should be in the next page. So if I do like this and click over here, now see, I have to put my cursor or my cursor over here. So it is right now in front of the alphabet Y. So if I click on this particular line, now this line will be on the next page. So I hope you understood what is a page break do. A page break is going to break a particular page into different sections depending upon where your cursor are. So if your cursor is in the middle of a paragraph, so from where your cursor is going to turn that particular paragraph or convert that paragraph into another page. Okay, so this is your page break. Okay, now next one is tables. So in tables we have so many formats. Now this is called a graphical format. Okay, this is called insert table, in which you manually need to tell how many rows or how many columns you need to add. In this you can draw a table because the moment I click on this, it's going to give you one pointer icon, okay, like a pen. So using that pen I can draw a particular row or a column or a cell of a table. This is going to convert your particular table into a spreadsheet. And the last one is quick tables, in which it has certain formats over here. Okay, so I can also apply this formats over here. Okay, so let me show you one by one how to do this table. So this is like one, I hope you know what is a row and column. This is a row and these are the columns. Okay, so for example, this is a column. Okay, one column, two column, three column and two rows. So 2 rows and 3 column. So 2 rows, this is a row, 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so this is how you can add a text table over here. So if I can write like name, age and address. Sorry. Okay, so I can write A, age is 17, address is Tadung. Okay, so I can do this. Now how I am shifting from one cell of a table to another is by pressing a tab key on my particular keyboard. Now if you look over here, there are two icons. This is icon, or this cursor is used for moving your table on any place in your document. You can position your table any place in your anywhere in your document. So this is your cursor, and this cursor is also used in order to select your whole table. For example, if I click on this one, I'm going to select the whole table, and I can change the font family like this. Okay, and this particular cursor is used for resizing your table. Okay, so if I move like this, I can resize my table. So if I need to add, for example, if I need to add another row, that means one another row over here, not the column. Please remember, one another line over here, that means it is a row. So if I need to add one another row, what I can do is click anywhere on this particular last row, then right click on it, then there is an option of insert. If I click on this insert, is going not click, but if I just hover over this insert, is going to show me number of other options. From this option, I'm going to say row below, that means it's going to add one particular row below this last row. Or if I say insert above it, that means it's going to add one more row above this particular data. That means above one, the row will be added, but after the before this 8, 17 and Tadung. Okay, so if I do row insert row below it, so it's going to insert one row below it. If I need to add one more column, then just you need to go anywhere on this last particular column, then just say insert column. If I do on the left, it's going to do me on this particular section, I mean to say on this particular between age and address. If I do it on right, it's going to be after the address. So if I do it now, see, if I do it on left, see, it is before age and address. Okay, and if I want to make it at the last, that means it's going to do after the address. So this is how you can insert data in a table, and also you can insert a row or a column in a table. I hope you understand. Now if you need to delete a table, you need to select the whole table and press backspace. Okay, you need to press a backspace from your keyboard. If I press delete button, now see, if I press a delete button, then what does it do is, it's going to remove the contents of a table but not the table. Understood? It's going to remove the contents of the table but not the table. So if I need to delete the table, I need to press backspace. Or what you can do is select the table, go over this particular cursor, do a right click and delete table. Okay, I hope you've understood how to do these things. The next one is your pictures. So in pictures, you can add a picture from your particular computer. So if I go over here in my desktop, if I have some sample pictures over here, okay, so something like this, I can insert this table. Now whenever you are inserting a picture on your table, if you are resizing, if you want to make it small, then do not use this. Understood? Do not use the middle icons, the middle pointers over here. Okay, this is going to decrease your pixels in your picture. That means your picture is going to come blur or distorted whenever you are doing a printout of that particular picture. So how to resize your picture is either by using this particular size option that you can find. Understood? If I decrease it like this or increase it, or doing like this. So this is length and this is a breadth. Okay, now if I want to do it with the help of a mouse, then you need to press the shift button. Always remember, you need to press the shift button continuously, then you need to go to the last, either this pointer. So now this is going to adjust the ratio of the picture along with the size of the picture, so that whenever I am resizing it, it does not disturb or disrupt my pixels inside that particular picture. So this is how you can resize your pictures and how you can insert your pictures. Okay, now let me remove this one. The another option over here is the shapes. Okay, so there are plenty of shapes that you can find in this particular icon. Now if you click on this particular option over here, shapes, now these are recently used shapes, that means the frequently used shapes: line shapes, triangle shapes, basic shapes, block arrow shapes, equation shapes, flowcharts, stars, callouts, and you can do another things also. Now let me take one of the shapes over here. Let me take this oval over here, and whenever you want to make a complete like an oval over here, you need to press the shift button, then you need to make a shape over here. Now it is going to, it has created a shape for me. If I need to change the color, go to the shape fill, or you can do is right click on this one and format shape. Now this is going to pop up a new column over here in which there are two options, fill and line. If I click on the fill, it's going to show me which is the color that it has filled on that particular shape. So if I want to change it, I can change it to any color I want it. Now you can see that the border line of this particular shape is still on the earlier color. So if I want to change the border line of this color, then go to the line, and in the solid line you're going to see a color option over here. Click on this one and you can again change it to the color that you wanted. And if you do not want the border color, what you can do is click on this click on the no line option. If I click on the no line option, it's going to remove the border of that particular shape. Okay, after that there's the option of shape effects. Okay, now if I click on shape effects, there are different kinds of effects that I can choose from. For example, let me take like glow. So if I click on this one, it's going to have a glowing, what you can say is the effect over this particular shape. Okay, you can also insert pictures inside the shape. How you can do that is right click on this one, pictures, format shape. Now it's going to open these two options. We know that which one is a fill, another one is a line. Now there is no fill, solid fill, gradient fill, pictures and or text fill. So if you click on this picture or text fill, is going to by default is going to insert a picture of which is already in this particular Microsoft Word. But I want a different picture, then you need to click on this insert button. After that you need to browse on your computer. So if I go to my desktop again and click on this thumbnail, now see this particular picture has been inserted inside this shape. So you can also insert different pictures inside whatever shape that you have chosen from. It should the only thing is the shape should not be like the line shapes. You cannot insert lines, you cannot insert a pictures over this. You can change the dimensions like the width and the height, you can change the colors and everything, you can change the thickness of this line, but you cannot insert a picture on the line shape. Okay, the another one over here is the charts. Okay, so if I click on charts, just like a spreadsheet, it will give you a option of charts over here. This, for example, if I have a line chart, so if I click on maybe something like this and click on OK, it's going to add a chart on this particular document like this. So right now it has shown me certain data to it, and this date table is shown in the format of a Microsoft Excel. So if I change certain values over here, for example 4.32, from 4.3 I want to change it 5.3, and click anywhere. So see there's certain increase that you can see. Or for example 1.829, if I do that, you see it has increased. Okay, so this is how you can insert charts and you can manipulate with the values that are given in the charts. Now the next option that I have, this screenshot is not available in other options, or a smart art is not available, so I'm not going to talk regarding these things because these are not so important. Okay, now the next important thing over here are the headers and footers. Okay, now what are headers and footers is, headers and footers, the headers will appear on the heading tab or the heading section of this particular document, and the footer will be seen on the footer section. Now let me show you how that is done. So if I click on header, then it's going to show me certain templates that I can insert over here. Okay, so if I do not want a template, then what I can do is I go to header, edit header, then I can add my heading over here. Now see, if I say like my header, okay, something like this, make it a little big, maybe like this, make it at the center, change its color like more or less like a bluish, make it bold, make it a bit more bigger. Okay, okay, now this is my header. Now can you see that if I put my cursor on this particular middle section, it is not showing to me, that I cannot do anything. If I try to write it also, it's going to write it over there only, it's not going to write it at the, now for example if I try to write something in the middle of the section, it's not going to allow me. So what if I want to write something on the middle of the document? Then I need to do a double click on this one. Okay, either I need to do a double click, or I can go to the design and I can say close header and footer. So if I do this, now I can write whatever I need. So let me do a random like 3 paragraphs. So it has given me 3 paragraphs. Now I can do or edit any text over here. But if I'm adding something over here, or deleting or editing any text in the body section of the document, the header section will become disabled. That means I cannot do anything over this header. So if I try to do anything on this, now see, nothing is happening, because right now the body section is enabled and the header section is disabled. So if I want to do again edit my header, then what you can do is go to the insert tab again, go to this header and edit header. So again I can do the editing on my header. If I want to edit the body, I need to close the header and footer. Okay, now what if I want to insert a, what you can say, a footer? So if I want to insert a footer, same thing, go to this footer section, then edit footer is going to open the footer section on this particular document. So I can say that, for example, if I write today's date, so I'm going to say date is 16th of May, 2020. Okay, so I'm going to make this italic, just increase it and make the color a bit lighter, something like this. Now close it. Now this is my header, that is my footer. Okay, so I hope you've understood these things. And I can also add a page number. Now look over here, how to add a page number is go to insert tab, then there's the option of a page number. So if I click on this page number, I want at the bottom of the page. So if I want on the bottom of the page like this way, then it's going to add a at the bottom of the page. Okay, so if I now see, it is 1 over here. Now if I go to the next page, for example, I'm going to insert and click on blank page. Now see, the header and the page number will automatically be enabled in the next page also. That means the same thing, you do not need to write it again and again. The same style, you do not need to copy it again and again. Okay, so the header and footer will be copied to the next page again and again until you desire it. Okay, so this is the functionalities and how to apply the headers and footers in your document. So I hope you've understood this. Now the next one is, which is one of the most important tool, this is the text box. Okay, now text box is going to give you a certain box. In that particular box you can do your headers, I mean to say your text. Now what is the advantage of using a text box is, now see, let me create a new file over here. Then I'm going to say, like, I'm going to write Greendale School. Sorry, I don't know why my keys are not working properly. Okay, I've written this, but I do not want it over here. I want it at the topmost section of this page. Now but I do not want a header also. Okay, I do not want to make it a header, but I want to keep it over there. So how to do that is, you can insert a text box. So what I'll do is, I'll go to insert, click on text box, then draw a text box. Okay, now it's going to convert this particular text into a text box. Now I can move anywhere. Sorry, yes, certainly. Okay, what I'll do is, I'll insert one more text box over here. Okay, so I'll delete this one and I can write Greendale School, and I can resize this. Okay, now see, what is going to happen is, if I try to if the size is less and your text is more, it is going to adjust with the size of the text box. Okay, so you can also increase or decrease the size of the text box depending upon how long your particular text is, and you can also, for example, format your text box like this way. So same thing, say fill. Okay, I'm going to make it green. Then I'm going to remove the background border line by saying no outline, and look over here, or maybe change the color of the text by making it white. So I can also do these things. Okay, I hope you have understood how to insert a text box. Or because why I'm not showing this default templates over here, because mostly people do not use this default templates, they draw a text box only. Okay, so it's better you draw a text box. You need to click on this, then you need to draw a text box like this without letting go of your mouse cursor. Okay, so how long your text box is, you can write your text over here, for example. This way. So now look over here, my particular paragraph, it is long and my text box is a bit short. So what I can do is I increase the length of the text box. Okay, now I can move anywhere over this particular document. So in this footer section, I can move it also in this footer section. Okay, so I taught you how to remove the background. Either you can go to the shape outline over here, or you can do a format shape, for example, like this. Format shape, line, then no line. Same like your shapes. Okay, because this is also one of the shape. Okay, so I hope you have understood the advantage of using a text box, or how to use a text box in your MS Word. Now the next things you have over here are the equations or the symbols that you can do. These are mathematical equations that you can add it over here. Okay, like this, or you can add mathematical symbols to it. Okay, so if I go right click or do a symbol, there are a lot of symbols over here. Okay, which I use in mathematics. For example, I can do this over here. Now see, I've added this one, or between this I can say like this. So this is how you can also do your equations. So because certain equation, this mathematical equation, you do not find it in your keyboard also, and if you try to write it also, it becomes very difficult for you, because these things are a bit more complicated. Okay, when you try to type it by yourself, and like resizing it, adjusting it according to the position you want, rather than doing that, you can go to this particular mathematical section and do the equation also by yourself, or you can insert symbols by yourself. Okay, so these are for your insert tabs. Now when it comes to a design tab, then what you have over here is a themes. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to write my sample heading. Okay, then over here I'm going to write date. We do this date as 16th of May 2020, sorry, 20. Okay, then I'm going to write I'm going to insert one text box over here. Okay, then I'm going to say my sub heading. Okay, then at the bottom, I'm going to write 4 paragraphs. Okay, now this is what I've created, very simple format over here. Okay, so I'm going to make this bold, then I'm going to change this color to maybe sky blue. Okay, increase the size. Okay, then it's very important that once you do that, you need to go over here. Okay, you need to go over here and make this as Calibri light, because this is a heading, so you need to say that this is a heading. Okay, and I'm going to change this one to this thing. Then this is my subheading, so I'm going to choose this one, make everything in uppercase. Then I'm going to change its color. We're going to format, shape, fill, and like this. Change its font color to white. Okay, then no color, no fill, no line, meaning that it's going to remove the borderlines of my particular text box. I'm going to adjust by doing a justify over here. Okay, now after I've done this, I want to change it. Okay, let me increase it like a bit more. Okay, so after I've done this, I'm going to change the outlook or the whole how it is looking over here. I'm going to change it by going to the design tab, choosing the theme. Okay, before you do this, what you need to do is you need to select this particular text box, go to the format tab, then you need to make it into a shape style. So I'm going to convert this into whatever. Okay, this, not this one. Okay, something like this. Then the moment I go to a format tabs, then I'll look over here, I can change or the whole outlook of my particular theme to whichever I want it. Okay, okay, so I've changed my font style, I've changed everything. Now what if I want this particular color to remain the same? Then I do not want the text. Okay, now for example, let me show you again. Okay, I do not want this color. The font family is good. Okay, the font family is good, but I do not want this particular color only. Then what I can do is select this particular text box, go to colors, then you can choose into whatever shapes, or I mean to say colors that you like it. So maybe like this. Okay, if you want to increase the spacing of your particular sample, then paragraph, open, relaxed, then it's going to increase the space between them. Understood? And what if you want to change the font family? Then there are a lot of options over here through which you can change the font family of your particular text. Okay, something like this. So I hope you have understood how to use the themes, okay, or how to make your own themes. Now there's another section called watermark. So I think you have seen this mainly when you are trying to download certain images from the Google. So you have something like this, do not copy, which if you look it closely is going to be reflected at the back of this particular text. Now that means this particular text is my property. Okay, no one can copy it, and those who wants to copy it, I can file a case against them that they have stole my particular content. So this is way of keeping your text confidential, okay, that it belongs to you. So this is something called a watermark. You can also customize your watermark by, rather than saying no copy, I can say like GDS. I say like this and click on OK. Now see, this particular text now belongs to GDS. Okay, I am referring, or I am saying like that. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is a watermark. There are page colors also, in which you can color your whole section of your page. So make it like this, change the font color to white. Okay, you can do these things in design section, and you can make a page borders also. So if I want a page border, I will say I'm going to want a box, then the width is going to be a bit block over here, and if I click on OK, see, or I can change the, what I can say is like I change the color of it. So if I want to change the color of it, I need to go to the shading, then not no color but white, sorry not this one, page border options, no, I think it should be in over here also, it's not showing right now. Okay, so what you can do is like you can also remove certain sections of the border. For example, I want left and right border, but I do not want the top and bottom border. Then if I select the top bottom, it's going to be disabled. You can look at the preview, and if I select the bottom one, it's going to remove the bottom one, and if I click on OK, it's going to remove it. Okay, the color is over here, so let me make it white. So if you look at it, it has removed the top and bottom of this particular thing. Why did not change it? It should have changed it. Okay, so I hope you have understood the page borders also. Now the next one is here. So let me remove everything over here. Let me remove this. I don't want to save it. Make a new document. And there's a layout tab. Okay, now this layout tab, I'm going to only say a few things regarding this, because these things are actually quite advanced, and it is mainly used when you're doing a very advanced formatting in your MS Word. So there is a margin section. Okay, the margins are actually spacing from where you want to start. Okay, not from where, how much section you want to keep for a particular text. That is your page margin. Right now it is normal, in which there is top one, bottom one, left and right, everything is one. So that means it is why it's starting over here means, for example, I am writing like random, random. So why it is starting over here, why not it's starting from here, is because of the margin. So from top it is 1, from bottom it is 1, from left it is 1, and from right it is 1. That is why it is starting from here. Okay, please remember this. So if I now change it to narrow, now see over here it has decreased. Why it has decreased now? Because from top it is 0.5 and bottom it is 0.5. okay, so if I keep it moderate, so moderate, it is now, look over here, the top it has increased, but the left and right, left it has decreased. Why the left has decreased is because left is now 0.75. okay, and if we keep it wide, it's going to increase the left and right sections, but the top and bottom will remain the same. Why is because if you look over here, the top and bottom is 1, but left and right is 2. Earlier in moderate it was 0.75. okay, and if I keep it mirrored over here, then if you look at over here, inside, outside. Now inside and outside are way more complicated. You just need to look at this value, because when you are working with a mirror, that means 2 sections of panels has to be there. There has to be one section over here, for example, like in your newspaper article, one section over here, okay, and one section over there. So if I make certain changes to over here, the mirrored is going to be useful. Okay, so I hope you have understood the margins section. You can also change the values if you want it, but let's not talk about that one, because that ones are a bit more complicated for your particular standard. So orientation. Now orientation means right now it's portrait. By default your documents, everything is going to be portrait, but if you want to make it a landscape, so if I click on this one, now see the length of this document has decreased, but the width has increased. So when in a landscape, the width is going to be increased and the length is going to be decreased. In portrait, which is a default, the length is longer and the width is shorter. Okay, and there are sizes, and these are useful for your printouts. Okay, so in what kind of page do you have right now? So if I want to print out in A4 size page, okay, or I want to print out in A5, or it is a letter page. Okay, so whenever you're going to a cybercafe and printing out, and if the owner of the cybercafe is saying that, okay, I only have A4 size page, then what you need to do is first select an A4 size, do all your things inside this A4 size, then do a printout. Then your particular printout will be very good. Okay, rather than first making all the things in the Word and converting into A4 size, your margins, your spacing, everything will be disturbed, and you need to do all the things again, or you need to do some of the things again. So rather than doing it again and again, what you do is first you ask the owner what kind of paper size that you have for the printouts. Then if the person is saying I have both the A4 or the A5, then you can adjust according to the size of the page and do your work over here. Okay, and these are columns in which you need to do. Now these are a bit more complicated. Let's not talk about this one, because if I start to talk on this one, this is going to take a whole new session just to talk regarding columns only. Because if I click on more columns, how many columns do I need to do? I have to adjust it along with the width and spacing according to each of the columns that I wanted. So for example, if I write random over here, okay, now see, it has given me one single column. Okay, now it is on the right. If I make it one, right now by default it is 1. Okay, if I make it 2, now it will be like this section. For example, if I make it this one into a 3, look over here. Okay, so you can change your particular columns into how many size you want, or how the way you want it. Okay, so this is how the columns are done. So I hope you've understood this column section. There are these are breaks. Okay, these breaks are actually for text wrapping and everything. Now what the text wrapping will do, I'm going to teach you next, not next time, but in your upcoming classes, because in this particular class 7th standard it is not so important. Okay, I've already shown you indent and spacing before. So in the references, not in the reference, meeting, review, view. Okay, in the view section there are 3 things that you need to understand. You can see these 3 things over here also. One is the reading mode, another one is the print layout, and third one is the web layout. What are these things is, for example, if I write random, now this is a perfect scene that how your print is going to come. Okay, but you do not want to print it, you want to read the text what is over here, you want to read it, you do not want to print it. Then if I click on this print option, read mode, now look over here, it's going to increase the size of this particular section, and it's going to, if the text are longer, it's going to make it into 2 pages or 3 pages. Right now the screen is of 2 pages, so see, it is in the reading mode. So that means I can read all the text that I wanted. Okay, it's going to come, all the text will be in bigger size, and if it does not fit in the one single particular page, is going to be shifted to another page. Okay, so this is your print mode, through which you can see that this section, this is the way how the print is going to come. And the third one is the web layout. Now if the web layout, this is if you want this particular text to be uploaded in the website or in the internet, then this is how it's going to look. Okay, so you can adjust all the things over here. Okay, you can make certain changes over here. So this is how the web outlook is going to be seen. Okay, now the another thing is over here in the show section there are ruler, grid and navigation panel. Now this is a ruler. Now if I uncheck this one, see, you're not going to see it. Okay, so if I click on the ruler, now what is the advantage of a ruler is, let's say that I want to shift this particular paragraph. Then if I scroll this, okay, along with this particular topmost section, see, is going to adjust it. So this is the way what is a ruler is going to work. Or I can, for example, in this particular this line, okay, or this paragraph. So if I now see, if I go to this particular section, now see on the middle section how the cursor is going to be changed. Now how the cursor is changing, can you see it? It's moving the topmost section, now it's moving the downward section. Okay, now if I now see, if the cursor is changed from 2 arrows, That means it's going to shift the whole text. Now see, if the two cursors are coming, that is going to shift the whole text. If I just want to change the lower section or change the position of the lower section, for example this one only, or the top section, then this one. Okay, so if I want to shift this particular paragraph, then I need to move both these things together. Okay, or if I want to shift all the text, then I need to make the cursor two pointed arrows. Okay, I hope you've understood this one. And next one is your grid lines. So it's going to show you a number of boxes over here. These boxes is going to tell you where your particular text has to be ended or from where it has to be started. Okay, so it's going to make a box like design with number of cells in it, which is going to tell you from where your particular text has to be started and where your particular text is going to be ended. So you do not make unnecessary adjustments of margins or spacing inside a particular space or inside your document, so that whenever you're trying to print it out, it doesn't look good. Okay, so grid lines are used for that. And there's a navigation panel. In this navigation panel, especially whenever you have an internet. Okay, if you do not have internet, then it's going to be very difficult for you in order to use a navigation panel. Okay, so this much for now. So I hope you've understood from this particular chapter the advanced formatting, what all the things that you can do, from inserting a shape to inserting a picture. Okay, how to resize it, how to make certain adjustments, what is a paragraph, how to add a paragraph. Okay, so there are all the things that I've shown you. I hope you have understood this, all the tools that I've shown you in advanced formatting of a MS Word. So thank you, students. If you have any doubts, do let me know. I'll help you out.